cut my own hair this morning. And I do. Don't really care. Alright, people have been asking for businesses that I love. What I would start right now, one in particular that I absolutely love is lawn care. I think I've talked about it on the pod before, but lawn care is a business that I think is an amazing time. It's an amazing time to start right now. My brother runs a lawn care company. He came on the podcast episode 119, and he talks about his profit and loss statement. His very first year in business, his first full-time year in business, he made $70,000 in profit. He did $100,000 in sales. He had $30,000 in expenses. If you listen to episode 119, he talks all about how he launched his business and what he has done. Funny thing about that is he never spent a single dollar on marketing. He doesn't have any wraps or logos or decals on his truck. He doesn't do a good job of following up on leads. I mean, for the most part he does, but a lot of them he doesn't call back. It's just amazing that there's such a supply and demand issue with this lawn care. And that's not every market, right? But right now, I would love to start a lawn care business because the tides are turning really quick here. A lot of people are getting afraid to start new businesses, number one. Number two, it's going to be amazing to hire new talent, right? So many people are getting laid off. The restaurant industry, the hospitality industry, small businesses all over the country are laying people off. It's 20+% unemployment right now. It means you can get competent people to work for you right now, which is amazing. Number three is home services, especially outside of the house, have not missed a beat. I talk to my brother every single week, and the phone still rings. People are still hiring him to mow their lawn. I'm in the email inbox checking his emails. He gets 2 or 3 leads a day, misses 2 or 3 phone calls a day, and just generally speaking, the folks who did not mow their lawn before all this happened are not going to start mowing their lawn right now. Period. They're not going to go buy a lawnmower. I don't care what people say. And they think, lawn care is hey honey. They say lawn care is a luxury good. As soon as the money runs out, they're going to stop hiring that out and stop paying for it. That is not true at all. I think so many people, once you pay somebody else to mow your lawn, there's no going back. There's no going back to mowing it yourself. There's no buying a $800 riding mower or whatever it is. His business is booming. Right in the middle of the COVID pandemic, he's bringing on 2 or 3 new customers a week. He can grow it to weed control, to fertilization, to landscaping. The great thing about lawn care is, yes, there's no barriers to entry in mowing a lawn. So you're competing against everybody, right? You're competing against Craigslist, you're competing against this and that. But with lawn care, there's a lot of room for upsells. I just planted all this grass along here. This sidewalk is brand new. I had to get dirt brought in, and I planted all this grass myself. Most people wouldn't have done that, though. They'd have paid somebody a couple $1,000s to spend a day or two out here to bring in this dirt and plant this grass. There are so many areas for upsell. Like, yes, the lawn care, you're only going to make $5 or $10 an hour on top of your guy's work. It's pretty low margin. But if you can do weed control, if you can do fertilization, and if you can do landscaping, those have some barriers to entry. To be a weed control applicator, you have to have a permit. You have to pass the test. You have to have the certification. Andrew went and did that in a weekend after about 8 or 10 hours of studying, and then he took tests on the weekend, and boom, he has a differentiator from every other company on Craigslist or wherever else. Same with landscaping, right? You can't just you got to have a skid steer. You got to have a little bit of equipment. You got to have a truck. You got to have some better systems in place to be able to quote and bid big landscaping jobs. Once you can do that, you can charge even more money. So now Andrew's got a guy hired. My brother Andrew has a guy hired to do all of his lawn care, and he's spending his time doing the high profit, high value work, landscaping, pest control, weed applications, and so on. So it's a great business with upward mobility in the profit margin. You can start at the bottom, and you can do more and more and more. Another thing is Jobber, who used to sponsor the podcast. They have basically a software as a service that you can put on your website. It allows you to collect leads. It allows you to track your time. It allows you to organize getting bids out to customers. It just makes it so easy that he can do $100,000 a year in sales and spend 1 hour a week on admin stuff, because Jobber, the service, does everything else. It's absolutely unbelievable. The tools out there to differentiate yourself from the average guy who cuts grass, it's crazy. So for those reasons, I think starting a lawn care company is an unbelievable opportunity. If I were to do it right now, I would get a WordPress website. I would get a Google My Business location. I would name my business using domains.google.com and synonym.com on 2 different screens. If you want to see all of my methods to do this, go to sweatystartup.com, click on the Essential Tools button, where basically I list the 20 tools that I would use and I would set up right away. Basically, it's Google Voice, a website, Google My Business, and Jobber. And then I would get some flyers together and I would go door to door. I would do some direct mailing. I would get a digital marketer right away. That's because I would probably put 10 or 20 grand as an investment into this stuff. I would go on Craigslist and I would buy a truck. I would go on Craigslist and I would buy a used mower. I would go on Craigslist and I would buy a used weed eater. I'd pay cash for all of it, so I had zero debt. I wouldn't have an office. I would be remote, and I'd run a super lean business. I would go out and start mowing lawns myself. Then as soon as I got too busy to mow the lawns, I would hire an employee. And that employee, I would keep the job super simple. Listen, all you're doing is driving around mowing the lawns. You're not doing any landscaping. You're not doing any customer service. You're not doing any billing. This is exactly what you need to do. Another thing, if I was launching a lawn care company, I would learn Spanish right away. There's a visa program. I forget the initials for it. It starts with an H. But there's a visa program where you can get immigrants from Mexico, Canada, wherever, to come in specifically to work for your company. And it's a great opportunity to get great loyal employees to work really hard for you. And you can't find those kind of opportunities to hire Americans who want to work really hard on mowing lawns, period. So I would look into that visa program. I would learn Spanish right away to diversify not only my employee base, but also my customer base. I would learn Spanish right away. My brother still refuses to do that. He refuses to look into the visa program. There are some things that you can do to get a huge advantage. And when times get tough, I think it's a great time to start a business, personally, because when the economy is rising, a rising tide floats all ships, right? But when times get a little bit hard, it just exacerbates, it amplifies the good business owners, the people who are good operators, the people who are good marketers, the people who budget and don't have a ton of debt, the people who communicate with their employees the right way. All of that just amplifies during a tough time. So tough times create opportunities for real operators. That's when the people who do digital marketing, the people who have hired a digital marketer succeed. And if you needed a recommendation for an awesome digital marketer, I have one for you. Just drop it in the comments or shoot me an email to nick@sweatystartup.com. But basically the tough times are when the really good operators thrive. And then you can ride the wave back up. So right now during the COVID crisis, things are a little bit tough. People who have lifestyle creep are going to get hit hard. A lot of businesses are going to go out of business. But these home services, the grass isn't going to stop growing. The grass isn't going to stop growing, and people are not going to just go get a mower and mow grass on their own. I don't care. I'll argue with you all day that is not going to happen, and it's definitely not going to happen at scale. So, yeah, a lot of people crap on these little businesses like lawn care because they're low barriers to entry, they're low margin businesses. Yes, and they're right, they are. But if you do things the right way and go after, another thing is you got to go after the right customer. So many people try to win every single bid, and they're trying to get the customers that are really cheap and tight. Like me, when I quote out a job for my lawn, I'm looking for the cheapest option because I'm just a naturally super frugal person. You don't want me as a business owner. You don't want me as a customer. So you have to not care if you lose me. You have to go after the person that wants to pay extra for an extra quality service. Pay extra for responsiveness, pay extra for professionalism, pay extra for somebody who's gonna edge along the sidewalk and make it look really nice and then blow it off after every single time. So if you look for that type of customer, you will find them, even if you're charging 10, 20, 30% more than your competitors. You don't have to race to the bottom. You don't have to charge a low price. If you're responsive, if you do digital marketing to get in new leads, you understand that you're not gonna get every single lead, and you follow up really quickly and have a very professional lead chasing, customer generating, bidding system, that's all you need. All you need is a couple clients. All you need is 10 to 20 clients. Then you have a full schedule. Then you have 70 grand a year in revenue. You can live on that, and then you can start to build a scalable business over time. Far too many people think that they are going to launch the business and the phone's going to start ringing off the hook and it's all going to happen right away. No. It's about delayed gratification. Do the work yourself. Learn every single step of the way. Grow the business slowly. And then 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now is when you'll be enjoying the fruits of your labor, when you have a business that can operate without you, that can make money every single month, and that you can use to kind of grow the next, go to the next opportunity as it presents itself, whether that be real estate, whether that be landscaping, whether that be, whatever it is. For me, I started in the student storage business, hoofing boxes up and down elevators, up and down stairs, up and in and out of dorms, and now I am buying, building, operating self-storage facilities, real estate. So you never know where the opportunities are going to take you, but I do know that starting a business, putting yourself out there, and doing it in a cheap, low-risk way. I mean, how cheap is starting a lawn care company? I mean, if you already have a vehicle that can haul the stuff, you're looking at $1,000 or $2,000. The Google platform's free. The website's basically free. There's no reason not to start a business. And right now is the best time because it's really, really hard on everybody else. Everybody else who has the overhead, the staff, the employees, the truck payments, they're going to lose their businesses. And the people who are lean, the people who are one-man shops, the people who don't have a lot of overhead, the people who have extra cash on hand are going to survive. And if you're launching a business right now, you're going to be surviving, ready to catch the wave on up and build a healthy business that can give you the life you want. So get after it.